I swear it was entirely quiet outside until the moment I turned on a camera. And then someone was like, I think now is a good time to build myself a new table. So a hot second ago, I went to my favorite crafting thrift store, bought a bunch of fabric remnants for basically like 40 cents a yard, and picked out 12 of my favorites to make 2 capsule wardrobes, a term I had only just learned the meaning of, each consisting of 6 different articles of clothing that could be worn interchangeably, which is apparently what you do with a capsule wardrobe. And before I completely lose interest in the materials I've chosen and this project as a whole, I better get stitching. I'm going to start with this stack of fabric right here, which is quite heavy. Not all of them quite go together, but you know what? I was dealing with remnants I dug out of a bin, so perfection is unnecessary. Here's what I am thinking about making with these 6 materials. We're starting with the cherry fabric because I absolutely must use that. I'm gonna stick in a comfortable place, having just made a ton of dolman sleeved shirts, and just kind of make a basic, simple tunic shirt with some dolman sleeves. I'll probably give it like a boat neck. Maybe I'll make the back longer than the front. Yeah, easy peasy. Next up, I'm using this forest green fabric that has a slight stretch to it, but not much. I want to make a pair of shorts out of these, high-waisted, preferably with like a little ruffle top and an elastic waistband, and then I might even put a little cuff on the bottom because the inside of this fabric, or the back of this fabric I guess, is really shiny and beautiful. I don't know, man. We'll play around, we'll see. Then we have the yellow satiny material, which is going to be a giant circle skirt. I hope giant. Again, I'm working with the amount of fabric I got here. I'm hoping to get T-length out of it, and then I'd like to get a big ol' sash to go around it. Hopefully I'll have enough fabric for that. I'm planning to put a zipper in the back of this one, and of course, add pockets. Next up, I have this awesome red material, and because I don't seem to understand the concept of simple pieces of clothing, I'm gonna try to make some cigarette pants out of these. This is gonna be ridiculous. I don't know how to make pants. I've never made pants. Even the shorts are gonna be like totally out of my comfort zone. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do this, and probably without a pattern because yes, I'm insane. I'd like to have a seam down the front legs, and then I really wanna do fold-in pockets. I'm sure there's an official name for these. They're folded, and so that's what I think of them as. Kind of the same as I made on my embroidered skirt a while back. Same concept, but in pants this time. Will that make these pants way, way harder to make in the first place? Absolutely it will. Then I'm gonna take this white knit material that I have and just make a basic sort of raglan sleeve t-shirt. I might make it into a dress length, possibly, if I have enough material. I don't know though, because if I make it dress length, that kind of makes it impossible to wear with the shorts or the pants. I could then only wear it with the skirt. So I don't know, we'll see. And finally, this fabric doesn't really fit in because it doesn't really match the red or the cherry, but it does look good with the forest green, and it actually looks really good with the yellow skirt as well. I know it's showing up much darker on camera here, but it's like a lovely maroony purple color. I'd like to make some sort of over clothing. I have a pattern for like this long sort of comfy knit thing. What do you call this? I guess it's a coat. It's a coat. It's just like a light sweatery cardigan-y kind of coat. I think if I have enough fabric, I'm actually just going to use that pattern and make that. Shocking, I know. Okay, let's get trendy and stuff. Several days later, because yes, I can't seem to start a project without getting interrupted, I'm starting with the cherry print dolman sleeve easy shirt. Okay, it's been a pretty hot second since I last sewed a garment. That dolman sleeve thing was a while ago now, so I feel like I've lost the how to start ability. What am I making and how do I do it and what is going on here and why? Oh god. Alright. I feel like the thing that often slows me down when I'm trying to start is that I really hate wasting fabric. So I'm trying to make something out of this that will use as much of the fabric as possible. It's like The Price is Right. My bid needs to be as high as possible without going over. And I'm not willing to bid $1. So for general sizing, we're gonna whip out the good old copycat shirt. I just don't really think I want this to be long sleeved. Too many options. I think the length is fine. I think you should do it this way because that's the more stretched out side. After 20 minutes of wallowing, how to make a shirt slowly came flooding back to me. We're committing. What could go wrong? And I finally got something cut out. Okay, let's go sew. Oh, some of the worst stitching I've ever done. Yeah, okay, I'll redo it. Ready? And she declares it good enough. First one done! Needs some ironing. Okay. I was working some night shoots for the next few days, which meant I barely saw the sun and had to convince myself to sew when my brain was saying, go to bed! Yikes. Luckily, the next article of clothing is the beloved circle skirt, which shouldn't be too hard, right? How long do I want this to be? Right? Lengthwise, you would need 30 inches, 10 inches, and another 30 inches. So 70 inches of length to get a half. Oh God, is this the best choice you could make? Why do you do this? There's a lot of debates happening. Okay, so maybe I complicated it a little. I ended up with 3 half circles, 1.5 times my waist size. So I'm hoping to actually gather this skirt for even more floof. Then I've got a waistband, 2 sash ties, a little rectangle, cause we all need a little rectangle, pockets, and 2 half circles of lining material. Yeah, I'm gonna line this skirt like a pro. Okay. Let's go make a skirt. Yeah, then turns out the whole 3 panels gathered on top and 2 panels ungathered as lining were boggling my brain beyond its capabilities. So I scrapped that idea and just cut out a 3rd lining panel so I could start sewing instead of staring into space. How was the other one longer and this one is shorter? This is the question. Oh, goody. Am I gonna iron it? No, I'm not. Never! Pockets are done! Despite the night brain, I did manage to get all the panels basted together, the pockets inserted, and the side seams done, with only one minor mistake. Boom!
What is that?
Skirt. The next afternoon, I decided to get fancy by adding some interfacing to the waistband, only to promptly discover that I was using the unfanciest interfacing possible. I mean, I did get it out of some furniture packaging, so... Whoops. I tossed that and instead cut out 1 layer of the waistband shape in the lining material as though that's going to make some sort of difference. I mean, it might, I just have no idea. Then I directly touched the surface of my iron because life needed spicing up. Okay, that was still hot. Apparently there's no real difference between my night brain and my afternoon brain. The puppy stole my chair, which generally means it's quitting time because, you know, he runs the house. You stole my chair. Well, thank you. But I managed to distract him with the promise of a squirrel outside and steal it back. I got the waistband constructed, the top of the skirt gathered, or massively over-gathered, that is. I feel like this is gonna be difficult. I'm terrible at gathering. Then attached the waistband to the skirt and moved on to the sashes that will go on top. very simple to construct. 10 out of 10.
Well, that was deeply satisfying.
Woo!
Those got gathered on the ends and attached to the waistband where the zipper will be, and then, yeah, the zipper.
I mean, it is an invisible zipper, so we shouldn't be able to see much of it.
I think it's okay.
I think it's not going to bother me if I put it in well. That old problem.
It's also the fun part that I have not yet sized this. So like I'm
About to insert a zipper, and I didn't actually check if this fits me.
should I do that?
Probably.
Y'all ready for this?
Cha! Floof! This is most definitely the best zipper I have ever put in.
Look how clean that is. You can barely even see it. It even disappears into the rest of the skirt so cleanly down here.
I'm getting better at stuff. In fact, I kind of put it in so well that it makes the skirt harder to get on because there's a lot of fabric right there. It's kind of hard to zip up right now, and apparently I don't have any hook and eyes to put at the very top there. I don't have any. All I have is like the hooks that go over bars, which won't fit there, so I avoided going to Joann to get a more yellow zipper, and now I apparently have to go to get hook and eyes. Why don't I have those?
In the meantime, since I now care about this skirt quite a bit, I'm gonna go do a buttload of hand stitching. Alas, it was already time to get ready for that lovely night job, or at least slowly start thinking about getting ready and lose all ability to focus on projects. So the hand sewing extravaganza would have to wait until I dragged myself out of bed the next afternoon.
Y'all, I went to Joann for hook and eyes. That's it, just a few hook and eyes. There were a lot of sales. Anyway, it's already really late because my schedule is completely messed up, but I'm gonna see if I can finish this skirt tonight. I don't have the highest of hopes. Why do you have floof on your head?
Do you have floof on your head?
Thanks for keeping me company. Hello. Can I help you? Oh, you're gonna come back. Alright, and this is why I get nothing done.
And in this night, I did not finish it. Because oh my god, that hem took a million years and all my pins.
Again? Why are you so needy? Oh god.
But we're close, and I'm back to a regular schedule. So the next morning, I whipped the hem out and moved on to item number 3.
Don't get too excited, I still have another whole round. Where'd you go? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where are my side seams, Cotton Eye Joe? Hem done before 10 o'clock. Whoa! Do I want to iron it? Not really. Nah, I'll do it later. On to the next one. I'm gonna use a pattern, y'all. What? I don't think I'm gonna do the full dress. 1, I don't think I have enough material, and 2, I don't really want it to be a dress because I want to be able to wear this with like the green shorts or the red pants because of the whole capsule thing. I hate patterns. I just do. Having to open this and find the pattern pieces and read the instructions and lay everything out and cut out the pattern pieces. It all feels like so much. It's like I would rather just lay a piece of fabric down and stare at it for 30 minutes doing nothing, trying to figure out what I should do, than just follow some pre-made instructions. What's wrong with me? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Oh well. Tell me your secrets. See, what's kind of getting me now is I think I actually have enough fabric to fully make the dress, and I kind of want it. And I don't like wasting fabric. Y'all, thank God for this table. Have I mentioned how much I appreciate that we got a counter height dining table? I appreciate it. All right, cool. We have our answer. I am making the dress, and then I might just shorten it to a shirt. That's all right. That's okay. We're gonna do it anyway. Why is it so much shorter? I am suspicious. Oh, it's because it's like the boob portion. Okay, I believe you. I think that's it. Also, it's hot in here. Okay, but y'all, this is why, if you'll pardon my French, I don't the sleeves. Look at this shape. What the crap is that? I just feel like this is something that you need like an extensive knowledge of pattern making to know how to create. Hopefully one day I will know and I will be able to draft my own sleeves, but for now, that confuses me.
This dress was delightfully simple to put together. 3 pieces on the front, 3 on the back, then stitch those side seams. I even added like a little top stitching thing to the front because I liked the general look of it. The sleeves were slightly more confusing, especially being knit and double-sided fabric.
Sure. Cool. Stitch, dart, slash, dart to small circle. I don't really know what that means, but sure.
I hadn't marked the darts. I couldn't remember which side was the front, and they didn't match up perfectly the first 3 times I pinned them on, but I made it work.
Okay, it's looking like a dress.
Then it was just a pretty normal neck binding, which I also added that top stitching to, and the hem.
Ladies and gents, article number 3 is done. It feels a little old-timey nurse uniform. So I guess if I ever want to dress up as a nurse, I just gotta go get a few accessories and I could be good to go. I'm gonna go iron, like the professional chap I am.
And since it was only 5 o'clock, despite the curse of winter making it feel like midnight, I decided to plow right on ahead with article number 4, featuring, great shock, yet another pattern.
Wish me luck. Oh God, why? I do enjoy being extremely overdramatic about patterns. So it's 2 giant pieces. Great. I mean, you have to admit this is a little overwhelming.
It took me 12 years to figure out how to fit this pattern on the fabric and not waste too much. Considered lining it for a bit, but as luck would have it, I had about 6 inches too little material for that. At last, I got it all cut out, and I even managed to sew the pockets together before my brain collapsed in on itself for the night.
Machine stitch neck edge. As opposed to what? Was I supposed to be hand stitching this? I am gonna do that thing where I do what I want instead of what it says. Yeah, I kind of like that.
The wraparound collar connecting to the back neckline and shoulder seams boggled my brain once again on this one.
Ugh. Ugh is how I feel about this whole thing.
The instructions in the pattern were so confusing that after a while I just stopped, ripped out the seams, and then restitched it the way that made sense to me. Psh, patterns.
This is how we do it. How do we do it? I don't know. What's next? That does not look like 3 inches. It's less.
After that, the rest was fairly simple to put together, although I spent another solid half hour digging through my fabric stash and debating the lining option again.
Done.
Spoiler, I decided against it again. After yesterday being so delightfully productive, today was naturally the complete opposite.
A lot more work to go.
No, I mean, it's only a slight amount of extra work, but don't want to do it. All right, I will do it later. Let's go make dinner.
So off I went to bed with the jacket still not finished. The next morning I got started with some peaceful hand stitching and terrible posture. Then I realized there was interfacing involved in this pattern, something I had paid 0 attention to in advance. Huzzah! As luck would have it though, one of the many things that was on sale at Joann when I went for the hook and eyes was, you guessed it, interfacing. And I bought some just to have on hand.
I have interfaced.
As this was now the third day spent on this particular piece of clothing, I was feeling pretty over it, which unfortunately coincided with the whole thing becoming a mess. Yeah, I struggled with the finishing here. It took me ages to get the collar to lay flat, and then it didn't want to stay, so between that and the hem, I just ended up dumping the pattern instructions entirely and doing a buttload of hand stitching. Managed to finish it before bed though, and it looks decent. Ish. Okay, so you may have noticed that the two items that I left for last are the pants and the shorts, and yes, there's a reason for that. I couldn't find a pattern that was exactly what I wanted for either of those, and I didn't feel like spending ages digging around trying to find a pattern that was exactly what I wanted, because we all know patterns aren't my best friend. So I'm planning to draft both of those, plus a pair of pants that's in my second capsule wardrobe, by hand, from scratch. All those things. The thing is, I have never made a pant-like article of clothing at all, even with a pattern, so I just have a feeling that this section of the project is going to turn into like a whole thing, as in a whole video of its own. Because yeah, I'm going to do a whole separate video for that. That way I have plenty of time to go into detail about my chaotic process and, you know, whine about things. So we're just going to skip ahead right now and assume that I managed to make some pants and some shorts. I don't know. I literally haven't started. I haven't even started thinking about how I'm gonna do this, so they could be a total disaster. But we'll talk about that a little bit afterwards, and then we'll talk about it a lot in that video. Also, yes, my hair is shorter. I had Matt cut it off last night because it was time. Oh my god, I am very tired. But y'all, this skirt brings me so much joy. It is hard to contain. Honestly, I kind of lost track of whether I even got photos and film of all the outfits. I put the skirt on and I started spinning and twirling, and I just lost all motivation to do anything else. And now I'm pooped. 'Twas worth it. I want to make more skirts. Forget the pants. So much harder to construct, so much less satisfying when you put them on. We'll talk about the pants in the next video though. For now, let's talk about this capsule wardrobe. Oh no, too far. Here's the thing. I think it's kind of a big old fail. As far as capsuleness goes, as far as being able to wear all the pieces together and interchangeably and make a bunch of different outfits, didn't really happen. The only thing that really worked is, in all fairness, what my very original idea was, which was this shirt being worn with the green shorts, red pants, and yellow skirt. And yes, this shirt can be worn with all three of those. It's not a capsule wardrobe if it's just one shirt that you can wear with multiple different bottoms. So the other two items were an attempt to turn it into a whole capsule wardrobe, but then I just kind of ruined it. The white shirt, since I made it a dress, I can't really wear it with anything. It goes with the skirt, kinda. And then the maroon jacket cardigan thing is just not the right color to go with most things. But you know what? That is okay, because in the experiment, I ended up with 6 lovely items of clothing, one especially lovely item of clothing, with varying levels of success and wearability. So Well worth it. Oh, hair. Let me put my hair up with bobby pins, she says, full well knowing that that doesn't work. Real quick though, let's just go through the items one by one and give them a good old rating, cause you know I love doing that. Item 1, the cherry shirt. Yeah, sure, it works. It was incredibly simple. If anything, I wish I had done something more complex with the material. 8 out of 10. Knocking it down to 8 because it's just not very interesting, but I will definitely be wearing it. White dress, also 8 out of 10. As much as I dislike patterns, I think I will be pulling that one out again and making some more of this dress in non-white form. It's extremely comfortable and it's just like normal. It's just like a normal, comfy knit dress. So yeah, I kind of want more of those because that is basically my uniform. Normal, comfy knit dress. Green shorts, 10 out of 10, but we'll talk about that in the pants video. Red pants, 5 out of 10. We'll also talk about that in the pants video. For now, let's just say I made them and they now exist. Maroon cardigan jacket thing, 2 out of 10. This is honestly the most disappointing piece out of the whole thing because like I used a pattern and I still don't like it. The collar thing, I fully take the blame, operator error. Like I don't know how to make a collar and it didn't seem clear in the pattern and it didn't lay right and everything, but like more than the construction of it, I think overall it just ends up feeling too much like a robe. Maybe I made it even worse by leaving the sleeves so long, and then I think because it's like a lighter, thinner knit, it doesn't have any sort of like structure to it, so yeah. Overall, it just, I'm disappointed in it. And finally, the pièce de résistance. Oh god, I can't say French. Pièce de la résistance. No, pièce de la résistance. Pièce de la résistance. That feels like too many syllables. Damn it! Now it's bothering me and I have to see how this is pronounced.
Pièce de résistance.
Pièce de résistance. I think I was adding an extra syllable. Pièce de résistance. Pretend none of that happened. And finally, the pièce de résistance. First try. The skirt. 11 out of 10. It's so good. I mean, are there mistakes on it still? Yes. I left too much of the salvage by the pockets here and you can see it on both sides. Do I care? No, because it's just too swooshy for me to care. In an honest grading of my efforts, I get a big ol' F for capsule wardrobeness, and I am okay with that. I do have my second capsule wardrobe coming up, which is also made from fabric remnants, but I think will be far more capsule-y. The fabrics are actually more wild and yet somehow more related at the same time, and I think the items that I'm planning to make with them are more interchangeable. So I think I will have a better overall grade on my second capsule wardrobe, but for individual grades, nothing can beat the A++ of this skirt. And on that note, I'm gonna go eat a cookie, but I'm gonna spin there.